Well, good morning, and thank you for hanging in there with us. I have some exciting stuff to talk to you about. As he said, my name's Rob Crook, and I'm the general manager of Intel's non-volatile memory business, and sometimes they call me the memory guy. Right now is a super exciting time to be the memory guy because we have a ton of new technology that we've been working on that we're bringing to market that's disrupting the way people are doing storage and memory. And solving real business problems for folks. And my job at Intel is to enable our engineering talent to drive these generational innovation in areas of storage and memory that will help businesses solve real problems and help you be successful with your data storage strategies. So if you hear something you like today and you want to engage, first, please go ahead and engage with your team on that. And then if you need some help in some way, reach out to Intel. We'll find some way to help you with that. So now in my role, I get the opportunity to talk to a lot of folks in the industry across global enterprise end users of technology, cloud service providers, storage solution vendors, independent software vendors. And when I net out the feedback that I hear from those folks, I hear two common problems. With storage technology. One is, how do I store this ever-increasing tsunami of data that's coming at me on a reasonably fixed budget? And then how do I provide the best access to that data to enable business owners, the business folks in the team, to make better, high-quality decisions with that data? And so why are these big issues? These bigger issues because we're facing tremendous amounts and increasing of data from more and more devices and machines and applications. That data is coming at us, and that's compounded by the pressure to utilize that data as part of your competitive advantage, or conversely, a worry that your competitor might instead of you. Now, traditional technologies like hard disk drives simply cannot keep pace with the performance that's required with ever-increasing CPU capability to analyze that data. And to address this, at Intel, we've been focused on developing two key foundational technologies that enable data solutions to meet your needs. Each of those technologies has a different role in solving different needs for data storage. Those two technologies are Intel Optane technology and Intel 3D NAND technology. Intel 3D NAND technology is about driving lower costs and much higher capacities in storage to pull more data off the slow hard disks closer to the CPU so that we can do analysis on it. Intel Optane technology is all about driving much bigger memory and faster storage with predictable, consistently high performance. And Intel Optane technology is a revolutionary, entirely new class of memory technology that we've been creating over the past 10 years, and we just recently released this year. Nothing else like Intel Optane technology exists in the industry today. In fact, there really hasn't been a new memory media technology in over 25 years. It's super fast compared to NAND technology, traditional NAND SSDs, but unlike DRAM, it's non-volatile, so when the power goes off, the data stays. And unlike DRAM, it's much more cost-effective. Think of it as a chip of Optane technology has 10 times the number of bits as DRAM. And that's important because ultimately it provides even faster, more consistent access to data, which enables business owners to turn data into valuable insights with faster and greater scale to make better quality decisions. So what I'd like to do now is share some of the industry trends and provide you a few examples, actually more than a few examples, of how we work with industry partners and customers like yourselves to take advantage of these technologies to solve real business problems. So I'm not going to go into every detail about this, but what I hope to do is provide you some real examples of storage and data transformation that's happening in the industry today to assist you to have some conversations with your teams and your hardware providers and software partners in order to take advantage of this. And we'll have a lot more information available if you reach out to the Intel folks. Now, first, let's look at some companies that are using these new technologies to deal with this explosion of data without the explosion of costs, so keeping a lid on costs, if you will. And if you look at what people are reporting on now, analyst reports will say there's several clear storage trends which are driven by this migration to non-volatile memory. The first is the prevalence of all-flash arrays. The second is the explosive growth of hyper-converged storage infrastructure solutions. And then finally, companies increasingly embracing open source technologies to reduce acquisition costs. So we'll start with first traditional storage area network all-flash arrays, which is a segment of the market that is exploding compared to the overall storage market. It's growing at about 3 times the rate of the rest of the market. And although these all-flash arrays have high initial acquisition costs, the storage performance and reliability provide significant operational efficiencies which greatly outweigh those operational costs. And in fact, if you can look at the analyst reports, they'll show the ROI of capturing that data in less than 6 months for payback based on the operational efficiency, the space, and the power savings. And that reflects our experience in talking with customers as well. Now, all-flash arrays can be implemented in a traditional SAN infrastructure, but they can also be implemented as hyper-converged storage solutions in a direct attached storage model. So you directly attach the storage to the servers and you have a scalable capability. And here you'll see that same type of operational efficiency and greater density, but you'll do it in a more new scalable development model. So we partnered very closely with the storage software vendors and the hyper-converged storage vendors to apply 3D NAND and Intel Optane technology to the appropriate bottlenecks in the system, right where it's needed. And what we've seen is, compared to last year, previous generations, working with VMware on vSAN, we've seen double the performance year over year and 4x the capacity for roughly the same cost if we take advantage of these latest technologies. So that's sort of think of it as a technical viewpoint on how you might keep the lid on cost, expand capability, and improve performance for analytics. But if you let's take a look at what the real-world benefits might be for customers for deploying these type of solutions. So we recently worked with a major retail grocer, Kroger, and as well as in collaboration with VMware, to deploy an all-flash array hyper-converged infrastructure solution. And they did find that this approach was just as fast as their all-flash array storage area network alternative that they had been considering, but significantly less expensive. They also found that the solution delivered on all those operational efficiency promises, and it fit into a smaller footprint in their data center. And as an added bonus and an unanticipated benefit, they could now deliver new services to their stores that they had been trying to do before, but did not have the capability within their storage infrastructure to do with the previous generation. Now, so that's an example of how leading-edge storage technologies with optimized solutions can help manage this ever-increasing data and stay within the budgets, right, and help businesses have room to do new things as well. Now, the all-flash array trend is not only happening with commercial solutions, but also in the open source market as well. Many businesses are looking to open source storage technologies like Ceph, for example, to reduce their initial acquisition cost of those storage solutions, but also give them some flexibility to optimize for their workloads in their environment. Now, Intel has a long history in working with the open source community, from Linux to Ceph, for storage solutions. So in the case of Ceph, what we've done is we've taken 3D NAND and Optane and put it in the right places. Think of the metadata for Intel Optane technology, and then the bulk data for 3D NAND technology. And what we see is a 2x improvement in performance while dramatically reducing the latency access for real-time analytics, so a 10x reduction in latency compared to the previous generation of NAND-based solid-state drives. Another trend, so changing vectors to how do we get that bulk data into a more cost-effective space. Another trend we see in the industry is the use of cloud-based storage to store that plethora of data and records that you have to store and be archived for various reasons, but is not needed for frequent access or analytics. And so the challenge here, though, is that the data has gravity, the data has heft to it. And it's hard to move, and once moved, It's a choice that's not easily reversed. Once you get it out, it's hard to get it back if you change your mind. So we listen to stories from customers about using semi-trucks filled with servers, with storage, and then to move it out of their facility. They move it to the cloud service provider's data center, and this can take weeks, and it's hard to reverse once you get it there. And that's clearly a problem. And so we've been working with our technology and with folks in the industry. So we've been working with several partners and universities to create solutions where we combine Intel technology at the right points, the right high-performance buffers, the right networking technologies to transfer the data with software acceleration as well for compression. And one example is we've worked with Zatar, who's an innovative new company, to demonstrate transferring a petabyte of data across the country in only 34 hours. So when we move to these new tech solutions that take advantage of the technology, these things can take hours instead of weeks. Companies can take more advantage of low-cost storage in the cloud and use their local data centers for other uses. Now, speaking of cloud service providers, you all may have heard of Alibaba, who's another one of our customers. And as you all know, they are the largest e-commerce business in China, as well as actually a fast-growing cloud service provider. Each year, they host Singles Day. How many have heard of Singles Day? Where if you're single, you buy yourself a present. And Singles Day in 2016 generated $17.8 billion of transactions in 24 hours. So what's worth noting on that is that underlying those transactions requires a tremendous high-performance storage solution. And their storage solution is built on innovations in non-volatile memory. And in fact, just recently, Alibaba was able to use Optane technology to improve their self-designed Polaris database performance over 600%. So they saw a 6x improvement in the transaction database, which is incredibly important because you know that time is money in the e-commerce world, and there's a direct correlation between sales and wait time. If you keep the online shopper waiting, they get bored and they move on, of course. So working closely with customers like Alibaba to improve databases, Alibaba and beyond, we're helping improve that shopping experience and helping Ali grow their business because Ali also offers a similar transaction database to their cloud service provider customers. So as they merge these changes in the database with the Optane SSDs and offer this as a commercial offering, they're able to grow their business and offer that high-performance transaction database to you as a cloud service provider customer. Now, Ali is not the only cloud service provider who's working closely with Intel and Optane technology to provide these differentiated services. IBM, here in the US and actually globally, Bluemix offers Optane technology. OVH in Europe is another cloud service provider doing that as well. They're going to offer the opportunity for you to move your high-performance workloads onto CSPs to at least try it out, or move your workload to their cloud service. Now, another example that's relevant to the financial folks here in New York City is the work we're doing with the Securities Technology Analysis Center, or STAC. And there we're helping to accelerate testing and introduction of new trading algorithms which can lower risk, of course, as well as time to decision. And we're doing this from a storage-based analysis, putting the data in storage, as well as feeding large pools of memory at greater bandwidth with this new storage technology. And Optane technology actually helps in both scenarios. STAC recently completed some analysis, the memory bandwidth test. 7 of the 11 critical tests in there posted new world records using Intel Optane technology, combined with a 4-socket Xeon Scalable solution. Ready access to that data enables organizations to turn data into usable information. The information from that STAC analysis is coming next week, actually. Now, switching to healthcare, Intel Optane technology is also a hero in healthcare, helping companies enable data to become a competitive advantage in healthcare and also enable breakthroughs that impact the human condition. Intel and the Broad Institute are working together to help researchers find answers faster to some of the world's most challenging diseases. The mission of the Broad Institute is to propel the understanding and treatment of human disease. Broad is the largest database for human genome sequencing in the world. And creating this database was a huge computational task. The Broad Institute uses Intel Optane technology to speed up the pipeline so that all these researchers in the world can access the data more quickly and push the boundaries of science together as a team. In a recent interview we did with Eric Banks from Broad, he said, "We could not have done this without Intel Optane technology. It was simply not possible." And another breakthrough healthcare story is the University of Pisa. And they're changing the way they architect storage using Intel Optane technology, and it's having a profound effect on advancing MRI research. They've been working with a medical foundation called Imago 7 that focuses on degenerative diseases of the brain. And a researcher at the University of Pisa came up with an idea for undersampling the data in the MRI and then using tables and high-performance computation to fill in the gaps. But this new algorithm required very large amounts of memory or very fast storage. And they tried a number of different solutions in order to get the algorithm to work, and it was just simply not possible until they started using Intel Optane technology storage. And thanks to its speed and their algorithm, this MRI procedure that took 40 minutes was reduced to now just 2 minutes. And so those who've been in an MRI before know that this is a huge deal for patients, 40 minutes down to 2 minutes. And for doctors and researchers, this means that they can service more patients with a given MRI machine. If they have to redo the process, they're able to do it quickly. And for hospital business management, obviously there's a much higher ROIC on a key asset in the hospital. So given this potential of this tsunami of data that's coming at all of us, embracing new storage technology and innovation is not becoming an option, it's becoming essential for us to remain our competitiveness or our competition might. And it brings new efficiencies across our businesses, making businesses more competitive and enhances the experiences for our customers, and in some cases creates breakthroughs in services or healthcare. So I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to speak to you all today. If there's something that was interesting you here today on one of those examples, reach out to your local Intel person and we'll find a way to help you. Thanks, we look forward to working with you.